Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Skyrim. In this video, I'm going to show you all of the unique heavy armor within Skyrim. Just to clarify, unique armor being non-craftable armor that is literally unique, or armor that is only found in one specific location. For example, iron armor is not unique. Whereas Blades armor, although there are multiples of Blades armor, it is unique in the sense that it is non-craftable and only found in one location. If you wish to dispute this, please go to Skyrim Wiki and take it up with them. I am using their definition of unique. So first up, we're going to do the unique sets of heavy armor, and first up we have Azidal's Armor of Retribution. This armor has a base armor rating of 40, and the enchantment, as you can see, enemies who strike you with a melee attack have a small chance of being paralyzed. This is quite a powerful enchantment. Next in the set we have Azidal's Boots of Water Walking. These have a base armor rating of 14, and the enchantment, as you could probably guess, if you wear any 4 relics of Azidal, that is a very powerful set to have and a crucial set to have while you are enchanting your items. Next in the list we have Azidal's Gauntlets of Warding. These gauntlets have a base armor of 14. The enchantment, your wards are 25% less effective, but absorb 50% of the magicka from incoming spells. This is an extremely powerful enchantment, very good for casters and very good against casters. And lastly we have Azidal's Helm of Vision. This has a base armor rating of 19. Your conjuration and rune spells cost 25% more, but can be cast at greater range, being able to cast runes at a greater distance. That enchantment is extremely powerful, especially if you're sneaking around. Next up we have the Blades armor, and this has a base armor of 44, which is quite a high base armor, and no enchantment as you can see. Next in the set we have the Blades Boots. This has a base armor of 13. Thirdly, we have the Blades Gauntlets. This also has a base armor rating of 13. And lastly, for the Blades set, we have the Blades Helmet. This has a base armor rating of 18. Lastly, for the unique heavy armor sets, we have the Wolf armor sets. Now here we have the Wolf armor, the chest piece. This has a base armor rating of 31. Now we have the Wolf Boots. This has a base armor rating of 12. The Wolf Gauntlets, this also has a base armor rating of 12, and the Wolf Helmet has a base armor rating of 17. Now we're moving on to the standalone unique heavy armor gloves or gauntlets or hands. First in the list we have the Iron Hand Gauntlets. These have a base armor rating of 12, and as you can see, the enchantment two-handed attacks do 15% more damage. That's a relatively powerful enchantment if you're starting off in the game, but when it comes to late game, that enchantment is not very useful at all. And lastly, for the standalone unique heavy armor gauntlets, we have the Forge Master's Fingers. This has a base armor of 11, and as you can see, weapons and armor can be improved 12% better. This is actually quite a powerful enchantment and a very powerful set of gauntlets to have when smithing and improving your armor and weapons. Okay, now we're moving on to the standalone unique heavy armor chest pieces. And first up we have the Ebony Mail. This has a base armor rating of 45. The enchantment, you are able to move more quietly, and your opponents that get too close take 5 points of poison damage per second. A very cool design on the Ebony Mail there, one of my favorite pieces. Secondly, for the standalone unique heavy armor chest pieces, we have the Falmer armor. This has a base armor of 31, and yes, the Falmer armor is in fact a unique piece of heavy armor. The boots, helmet, shield, and gauntlets are not unique, and the Falmer armor is not to be confused with the hardened Falmer armor, which can be found once you have purchased the DLCs. But this piece right here, the Falmer armor, is in fact a unique piece of armor and can only be found in one location. And lastly, for the standalone unique heavy armor chest pieces, we have General Tullius armor. Not General Tullius's, but General Tullius armor. This has a base armor rating of 31, and as you can see there, a very beautiful and unique design. And lastly, for Skyrim's unique heavy armor, we have the standalone unique heavy armor helmets or headpieces. I would just like to apologize if there's any confusion. I have a mod that enhances the skins of some of the masks. So if you think a mask looks different to your console version or your non-modded PC version of Skyrim, you are correct. It's just a mod I have that's enhancing the skins of the masks. It has no effect on the actual stats of the mask, it's just giving it a prettier face, literally. So first up, for the standalone unique heavy armor headpieces. Azidal, this has a base armor of 23. As you can see, increases fire resistance by 50% and fire spell damage by 25%. A very powerful mask if you are a firecaster or fighting a fire-based enemy, which in Skyrim you do a lot with the dragons. Next we have the Ancient Helm of the Unburned. Now this has a base armor rating of 15. As you can see, increases fire resistance by 40%. Again, quite powerful when fighting fire-based enemies or dragons. Next we have Dulkan. This has a base armor rating of 23. The enchantment increases frost resistance by 50% and frost spell damage by 25%. Just like Azidal, this is very powerful if you're fighting a frost-based enemy, or very useful if you're casting frost-based spells. And there are frost dragons, so again, this can be useful against dragons. Next, we have the Helm of Winterhold. This has a base armor rating of 17 and no enchantment to speak of. Next, we have the Helm of Ingol. This has a base armor rating of 21 and the enchantment increases frost resistance by 30%. Again, very useful when fighting frost-based enemies such as frost dragons. Next, we have Hevnorak. This has a base armor rating of 23 and the enchantment immune to disease and poison. I suppose this is quite powerful if you're facing disease and poison. Next we have the Jagged Crown. This has a base armor rating of 23 and although it is a quest item and is not meant to be obtainable, it is actually obtainable. After you hand it in, it is possible to pickpocket it back. Even though the pickpocket success chance is shown as 0%, it is in fact possible and therefore obtain it without using console commands. Next we have Konarik. This has a base armor of 24, which is on par with another unique heavy armor headpiece. The enchantment, as we can see, when health is low, has a chance to heal wearer and damage nearby enemies. Now this has a 15 to 25% chance of proccing, so it can be very powerful. To heal you and damage nearby enemies is a very, very powerful enchantment, and the base armor alone it's a very up there headpiece. Next we have the Mask of Clavicus Vile. This has a base armor rating of 23, a very unique skin as we can see. The enchantment prices are 20% better, plus 10 speechcraft, and magicka regenerates 5% faster. This is a bit of an all-round enchantment, but the prices and the speechcraft definitely go hand in hand, and a very nice helmet to have. Next we have Mirak. Now this has 3 different armor ratings and 3 different enchantments. This can be either heavy armor or light armor, it's the player's choice. So if you acquire this item between the levels of 1 and 44, it will have a base armor of 23 and the enchantment will increase magicka by 50 points. If you acquire this item between the levels of 45 and 59, it will have a base armor of 25 and increase your magicka by 60 points. Or in my case, if you acquire this item at level 60 plus, it'll have a base armor rating of 27 and increase your magicka by 70 points, which is a huge magicka increase, and the base armor alone I think is the best in the game. Next we have Naklin. This has a base armor rating of 23. As we can see, the enchantment 50 plus to magicka, and destruction and restoration spells cost 20% less. This is arguably one of the best offensive caster masks to have. A very powerful enchantment and a very high base armor rating. Next we have Otar. This has a base armor rating of 23 and the enchantment resistance against fire, frost and shock is improved. Quite powerful for facing magic enemies, and the base armor rating again is up there. Next up we have Ragot. This has a base armor rating of 23 and the enchantment increases your stamina by 70 points. This is very powerful for those of you that play melee based characters and especially those of you who use shields. Penultimately, for the standalone unique heavy armor headpieces, we have the Visage of Mazund. Now interestingly, this headpiece has a base armor of 24, yet the armor rating that's showing is lower than say Ragot, which has a base armor of 23. So that's very interesting, but according to the wiki and all other sources I can find, this Visage of Mizand has a base armor rating of 24. So I don't know what's going on there, but a very interesting headpiece. Again, like I said, base armor of 24 according to the internet and the Skyrim wiki and all sources I can find. And the enchantment increases your stamina by 60 points and allows the wearer to release the breath of Nachak, whatever the hell that word is, a powerful steam attack. Pretty cool, giving you a unique shout. And lastly, for Skyrim's unique standalone heavy armor headpieces, we have Volcan. This has a base armor rating of 23, and the enchantment, conjuration, illusion, and alteration spells cost 20% less magicka to cast. A very useful mask for those of you who play a more defensive caster character. And that concludes the Skyrim Unique Heavy Armors. I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video. If you did like this video, please leave a like. Let me know what you use, why you use it, and why you think it's good. If you think I left anything out, please leave a comment and let me know. If you did like this video, be sure to leave a like, it would help me out a lot. Remember to share this video amongst your family and friends. And as always, if you did enjoy this video and you would like to see videos similar to this one or on similar topics, please subscribe. It helps me know that people are actually interested in this type of video. Be sure to check out my other Skyrim unique videos, as you will see on screen. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Now I'm going to bow and moonwalk backwards off the stage and let you click on one of these links. I'm watching you.